this is Nancy at Bonnie Lake Bend, Franklin. Today I'm going to show you how to make this wonderful Geo Mesh tree using an old tomato cage. This tree is great. It's light for those of you that might have restrictions on what you can lift. It's portable, you can put lights in it, and it's great to shout whatever season you have. It's not just for Christmas, it's for year-round. Okay, this is the Geo Mesh. It comes in all different colors, and today I'm going to be using a 36-inch tomato cage. There's lots of different sizes of these. They go all the way up to 54 inches, and there's no reason why you can't do something like that. It would be beautiful. Gosh knows we all have tomato cages running around our gardens left over, and these are a great way to use them up. What we're going to need is 2 rolls of Geo Mesh. And I like to put lights in mine. Today I'm going to be using these wonderful LED lights. These are great and cool lights, but you don't have to use these. You could use any craft light. You could use outdoor lights, just preferably ones that stay relatively cool. And then I also use these pipe cleaners or chenille stems, and I just usually cut a long one in half. So, first of all, I'm going to tie my tomato cage together at the top so it looks more like a point. I'm just going to wrap my chenille stem around it and twist it together. Then I'm going to put my lights in, and I'm just going to cascade them and throw them down in the middle. They don't have to be perfect right now because we're still going to play with this and make it look fabulous. We're just going to let them cascade down. And I'm just going to tie the end to the top and twist it right on with a piece of chenille again. I'm going to drop that down, and then while it is in here, I am going to make the plug come out the bottom so I don't have to shove my hand up there later and figure out where it is. Okay, so we've got our lights on, and now we're ready for our Geo Mesh. And when I'm working with Geo Mesh, I just grab it and let the roll go, because I don't need it to be all perfect anyway. This is not an exact science. What I want to do is I want to grab the end and kind of make a little bit of a loop. And we're going to attach that loop to the top because we kind of want a finished top to the tree. And I'm going to kind of grab it with my hand. So I've got both ends in here. And I'm just going to grab it with my hand. And I'm going to use another pipe cleaner. And I'm just going to attach it like this to the top, and again twist. Now this Geo Mesh tree, being 36 inches, is going to need 2 rolls of these. Then, how fun is this? All we're going to do is make more loops. Going to keep this attached and just gather a loop again like this, and we're just going to make it floof out a little bit, and then the one end we're just going to attach with a piece of chenille. So I'm going to go through behind the tomato cage wire and try not to get hung up in my lights, and we're just going to attach it like this. So there's no cutting involved either. It just couldn't be easier. Okay, now if it starts to sag down a little bit, don't worry. We can always push it up and there'll be more Geo Mesh down below to keep it up. Want to turn your tree a little bit and then do the same thing. Make a little poof and attach it with a chenille stem back behind, and then just twist it like this. I'm going to go kind of in a circular motion. I'm going to tuck this in a little bit. A circular motion around my tree, and continue to put loops and twisting it on. It couldn't be easier. And worried if you can see your chenille or you can see your tomato cage a little bit. When we go back and embellish this tree, you're not going to notice any of that. Just going to continue on twisting and looping. And yeah, there'll be some places where there might be a little bit of a hole. Don't worry, when we finish up and when we decorate this, you're not going to notice anything. You can make these loops tighter or bigger. It just depends on what kind of look you want to go with. And if you get your tree done and you don't like the shape of your loops or the fullness of your loops, it's just pipe cleaners. You can go back and do it all over again. You could pull it off and do it all over again. This is not something you'll be graded on. This is easy and fun. I'm going to continue on twisting my tree and adding loops until I've completely filled the area and made my tree. Okay, I'm getting to the end of my first roll, and I gotta say, this Geo Mesh tree to me is looking pretty sad. But, you know, don't give up hope, because Geo Mesh is so forgiving. If you've got a stray loop and it's sticking out funny, you can always just play with it and make it look better. And once we get this all covered in Geo Mesh, we'll start primping it, and it'll look so much better. Don't give up. You could take a larger tomato cage, a 54 or a 48, and you could use several different colors of Geo Mesh in here. You could even get an ombre effect where you started a lighter color at the top and kind of wove it through and ended up with a darker color at the bottom, or vice versa. How pretty would that be? Okay, I've reached the end of my second roll. And you know, these are so light and easy, you can whip them around any way you want. I'm just going to come down and drop it over on its side because it's easier for me to get to, and tie on that last piece. Tie, tie, tie. Okay, make sure my lights are down the middle. And just kind of spread them out a little bit. It doesn't make that much difference. It's kind of nice having it just willy-nilly. The lovely thing about the Geo Mesh is a lot of it has glitter in it. It really reflects the light if you put lights in it. Flip it back up, and now we're going to do the fun part. We're just going to do what I call floofing, and that just kind of makes it look like a tree. I'm not going to be gentle with this. I want it to go where I want it to go, not where it wants to go. So I'm just going to make it look like a fabulous tree. Okay? Don't be afraid to manhandle this. And I think I'm going to kind of tuck since my chenille or pipe cleaners happen to be dark brown, I'm going to kind of tuck them in a little bit so you don't see them as much. But really, once you get the decorations on, you won't be seeing those. Okay, we're ready for my favorite part, the embellishing. So I got lots of choices. A girl's got to have her options, right? And I think today I want to do glitzy. So I'll grab some beautiful ribbon. The red looks good. And all I'm going to do is just tuck it in. Maybe use one of my chenilles to tie it in the top so it's not taken off on me. And then I'm just going to tuck it in, kind of turning my tree as I go to kind of make it look like a garland. Now, if you're going to be using your tree all year round and you want to switch the decorations out, don't even bother to chenille twist it in, tie it in. Just poke it in, and Geo Mesh is sticky enough or clingy enough that it will keep in there. Okay, so that's cute. I decide I don't like it, I can always rip it out, right? Okay, now we have these beautiful red poinsettias. This is on a floral pick, and you can find all of this wonderful things at Ben Franklin. I'm just going to poke a few of these in. Again, if this was going to be a permanent tree, you could use your chenille stems to permanently wire them to the base. And if you have like these attractive pieces of chenille, brown chenille sticking out, use your embellishments to cover them, although the brown does show up nice so you know where you tied it later. But you can always just poke in a nice pine cone, some pine cones like that. And you could use a beautiful garland. You can use these wonderful beaded garlands. And then let's talk about the top. Why have an angel when you can do something fabulous, like take this wonderful piece and just jet it out of the top, like so. And just keep adding embellishments until you feel like you've got what you want. You could also even do Halloween, you could do spring, you could do whatever you'd like. And don't forget, ornaments will hang off this Geo Mesh. You could even hang little ornaments. This is a Halloween tree that we started. I wanted to show it in progression, and we use these wonderful little candy corn lights down the middle of this instead of regular white lights. You could embellish it with some great ribbons, put spiders all over it. You could put cobwebs or a skeleton. You could put candy all over it. The possibilities are really endless with these Geo Mesh trees. Okay, here's my finished and decorated tree. Didn't it turn out great and so easy? I like to make my loops nice and big for a nice full tree, easy to decorate. But here's another option. Cheryl from our floral department has made her loops a little more tight for a more compact and tall tree, and she's finished off her top with bows instead, a great option as well. We hope you give this project a try. This is Nancy from Bonnie Lake Ben Franklin. Thank you for watching.